Hi everyone, welcome back to this Sane and Serene YouTube channel. If you are new here, a special welcome to you. My name is Saran from SaranSays.com, and on this channel I like to make videos about grit, gratitude, and goal setting, books, body, blackness, and bettering your life. So if those are things that interest you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you in advance. Today we are reading, resourcing, and reviewing The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. Chopra says that the purpose of the 7 spiritual laws of success is to introduce a more spiritual approach to affluence and wealth in our lives. So often we don't think about spirituality when it comes to business, finances, making money, but he says not only do we need to introduce spirituality into that conversation, but that success is not just monetary. Success is also about well-being, fulfilling relationships, emotional and psychological stability, and peace of mind. He shares in the introduction, the source of all creation is divinity, or the spirit. The process of creation is divinity in motion, or the mind. And the object of creation is the physical universe, which includes the physical body. These 3 components of reality, spirit, mind, and body, or observer, the process of observing, and the observed, are essentially the same thing. So let's dive into the 7 laws of spiritual success. The first law is the law of pure potentiality. So the law of pure potentiality says that at our core, we are pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is pure potentiality, which is the field of all possibilities and infinite creativity. This is the source of our true essence, and we are not separate at any time or place from this potential. He talks about the self that we show up as, which is determined by external circumstances and experiences, in relation to the ego, which is our social mask, the way that we present ourselves. And then the true self, which is our spirit, which is who we are when none of those other things are influencing how we show up, how we exist, how we be. He talks about attention, how attention really shows up in pure consciousness. And when we are still, when we are in a state of meditation, we are able to unleash our power of attention by focusing our energy on whatever we want to, whatever comes to mind. And that this is a component of pure potentiality. He also shares tips and strategies for tapping into your pure potential. These tips include sitting still in meditation once or twice a day, just in silence, focusing on your breath and your thoughts. He also includes tapping into nature, watching the sunset, listening to the wind as a way to be present, as well as practicing non-judgment. How often can you pay attention to your thoughts or pay attention to things that are going on around you without making judgment? He shares that these tips can be applied every day and are essential in practicing the law of pure potentiality. The second spiritual law of success is the law of giving. Chopra shares that the easiest way to get what you want is to help others to get what they want. And if you want all blessings to flow into your life, you must be a blessing to the lives of others. Chopra shares that at our true essence, we lack nothing. We are abundant and we are affluent. So we never have to be afraid to give for fear that we will not receive, because we already have everything that we need. He also shares tips for how we can apply the law of giving into our everyday lives. He shares that wherever you go, you can be a blessing to the lives of others. Every person that you come in contact with, you can give some gift to. That can be a physical, tangible gift, or it can be a smile. It can be a hug. It can be present eye contact. It can be attention. It can be active listening. Something that it shows the universe that you are in a state of giving and that you are courageously and confidently willing to give your energy and your attention to others. Another way to apply the law of giving is to just Accept and appreciate all of the gifts that life has to give. And life is giving gifts everywhere you look. So he says, pay attention to the sunlight, pay attention to the trees and the birds, pay attention to all of the things in your life that you have to be grateful for. And lastly, he shares to keep the circulation of wealth in our lives going. That means give and receive freely. Don't be afraid to give and don't be afraid to receive. And that giving and receiving and that cycle is how we exist and show up in our lives. And if that cycle is broken, if we are afraid to give and if we are afraid to receive, we can never be financially or spiritually successful. The third law is the law of karma, or cause and effect. The author shares that everything that we are experiencing right now is a result of choices that we have made in the past. And even though we are infinite choice makers, we very often get wrapped up in conditioned reflexes where we are triggered by people and circumstances that ultimately influence our behavior. He shares that when you are fully operating in the law of karma, or cause and effect, you only see one choice, which is the right choice. He calls spontaneous right action, which is when you make the decision to always do the right thing, because you know that the right thing not only affects you and your life, but it affects all others that will be influenced by the actions that you make. He shares some tips for applying the law of karma, or cause and effect, into everyday life. These tips include being aware of the choices that you are making. When you make a choice, asking yourself, is this the choice that I really want to make? What are the consequences of this choice for me and those who are affected by it? And listening to your intuition, being still and being willing to be patient so that you can get to the right choice before you make it. The fourth spiritual law of success is the law of least effort. He shares in the book a quote that reads, "An integral being knows without going, sees without looking, and accomplishes without doing." Another one of my favorite quotes by teacher Abraham Hicks, which says, "Follow the path with the least resistance." What is often called a miracle is the law of least effort in action. Nature's intelligence happens effortlessly, frictionlessly, and spontaneously. This means that when you are in the knowledge of your true self, the law of least effort is in motion. The book reads, "Attention to the ego consumes the greatest amount of energy. When your internal reference point is the ego, when you seek power and control over other people or seek approval from others, you spend energy in a wasteful way." Chopra shares that the three elements of the law of least effort are acceptance, responsibility, and defenselessness. I have to read this to y'all because this is just too good. So applying the law of least effort, the author writes, "I will practice acceptance. Today I will accept people, situations, circumstances, and events as they occur. I will know that this moment is as it should be because the whole universe is as it should be. I will not struggle against the whole universe by struggling against this moment. My acceptance is total and complete. I accept things as they are in this moment, not as I wish they were." 2, responsibility. Having accepted things as they are, I will take responsibility for my situation and for all those events I see as problems. I know that taking responsibility means not blaming anyone or anything for my situation. And this includes myself. Whoa! I also know that every problem is an opportunity in disguise. And this alertness to opportunity allows me to take this moment and transform it into a greater benefit. 3rd, defenselessness. Today, my awareness will remain established in defenselessness. I will relinquish the need to defend my point of view. I will feel no need to convince or persuade others to accept my point of view. I will remain open to all points of view and not be rigidly attached to any one of them. I had to read that because I couldn't summarize that. 7 spiritual laws of success right here. The 5th spiritual law of success is the law of intention and desire. The author shares that as humans, not only can we be aware of energy and information, but we can use energy and information as tools to attract what we want in our lives. The author shares that this change is brought about by the two inherent qualities of consciousness, attention and intention. And while attention energizes, intention transforms. The author shares 5 steps for activating the law of intention and desire. The first is slip into the gap. Center yourself in the silent space between your thoughts. Number 2, established in that state of being, release your intentions and desires. 3, remain in the state of self-referral. This means remain established in the awareness of your true self, your spirit, your connection to the field of pure potentiality. 4, relinquish your attachment to the outcome. It gets deep. And 5, let the universe handle the details. The author shares some tips for applying the law of intention and desire into your life. He shares creating a list of all of the things that you want and carrying it with you everywhere you go. He also shares that letting go of the outcome and trusting that if things don't seem to go your way, there is a reason. Lastly, he shares practicing present moment awareness. So while you are making decisions, being aware of what is happening while you are making those decisions. The 6th spiritual law of success is the law of detachment. The author shares that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to release your attachment to it. That doesn't mean letting go of the intention. That just means letting go of the need to have control over the outcome. He shares that anything that you want to acquire in life can be achieved from detachment, because detachment is the true belief in oneself being enough. He shares, when you get attached, you freeze your desire from the infinite fluidity and flexibility into a rigid framework, which interferes with the whole process of creation. The law of detachment does not interfere with the law of intention and desire, with goal setting. You still have the intention of going in a certain direction. You still have a goal. However, between point A and point B, there are infinite possibilities. Some of this is too good, y'all. I cannot summarize it. I really have to read it directly from the book. So applying the law of detachment, Deepak Chopra shares, to commit yourself to detachment, allow yourself and those around you the freedom to be as they are. He also shares, today I will factor in uncertainty as an essential ingredient of my experience. Wow. And step into the field of all possibilities and anticipate the excitement that can occur when you remain open to an infinity of choices. When you step into the field of all possibilities, you experience all the fun, adventure, magic, and mystery of life. The 7th and final spiritual law of success is the law of Dharma, or purpose in life, which says that there is something that you are better at than anyone else in the world. Practicing the law of Dharma means focusing on what you are here to give. And the author gives 3 components as a part of the law of Dharma. The first component says that we are all here to discover our true selves and that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. The second component in the law of Dharma is a commitment to expressing your true unique talents and skills. The third component in the law of Dharma is commitment to humanity. When you combine your own unique talents and skills with service to humanity, Dharma is achieved. The author writes, if you want to make maximum use of the law of Dharma, then you have to make several commitments. The first commitment is, I am going to seek my higher self, which is beyond my ego, through spiritual practice. The second commitment is, I'm going to discover my unique talents, and finding my unique talents, I am going to enjoy myself, because the process of enjoyment occurs when I go into timeless awareness. That's when I am in a state of bliss. The third commitment is I'm going to ask myself how I am best suited to serve humanity. I'm going to answer that question and then put it into practice. I'm going to use my unique talents to serve the needs of my fellow human beings. I will match those needs to my desire to help and serve others. It seems ambitious to try to summarize the 7 spiritual laws of success. That's why I made a point to break down each law. But what the author really wants us to know is that we are pure potential. Everything that we want in our lives, we have the potential to get. So it first starts with knowing this power that we have. It's also about identifying what we want, doing it with a purpose, but removing ourselves from the outcome. Trusting that all things will work in our favor. This may seem abstract, like if we're going to be intentional, why just let go of the outcome? What is the point of having a vision and knowing what we want if we're ultimately just going to say, well, whatever happens, happens? But this book is sharing is that's how you get what you want. Success and fulfillment comes with not being attached to the outcome and being present in your intention. And lastly, Dharma is here to wrap up the 7 spiritual laws of success, which says that when you combine what you are truly good at with how you are committed to serving humanity, fulfillment of life is achieved. Purpose is achieved when your natural talents and skills and your commitment to bettering the world comes together. And that is the 7 spiritual laws of success. Thank you all so much for tuning into this book review. I hope you got something out of it. I feel like I got so much out of this review. Just reading the book and then reviewing it over again. I'm like, okay, I am present. I am here. I am in infinite potentiality, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace, love, sanity, and serenity. When you are operating in your true self, the law of least action, least effort is in motion. Least action, do nothing, be great.